The article I chose is how Ozempic's maker lost its grip on the obesity market it created. Novo Nordisk went to the market with an already produced drug of medication for diabetes, and they discovered that this medication caused rapid weight loss in those who were using it. And so they were able to market that to providers as well as consumers for a quick fix, especially after COVID, when everybody had been sedentary and were looking for a way to kind of get back into their shape and back into their pre-COVID clothes. So with Ozempic and Wegovy, Novo was able to reshape healthcare. They had a very strong market leadership, but they weren't able to capture based on their production levels. The demand was much higher than what they could keep up with. And then with ethical thoughts behind, should we be providing diabetic medication to people who are looking to just lose weight when the people who have diabetes may need it for life-altering reasons and survival reasons. And then there were competitive pressures as well from other companies coming to the market, trying to capture on this new medication and desire for this weight loss. So the global obesity rates at that point had tripled since 1975, with an estimated 650 million adults that were classified as obese. The anti-obesity therapeutics market is now projected to exceed 100 billion in the next 5 years. So that tells you how quickly this is growing and how rapidly they need to be able to produce the product to capture their market. So the surge in these medications' popularity was due to two different reasons, where the clients were able to control their blood sugar with their diabetes, as well as those who maybe didn't have diabetes but were just looking for substantial weight loss very quickly. The social reasoning for this, the rise in demand for weight management solutions, people are going back to work, they're going back to their lives around others, and maybe wanted to get that COVID weight off a little bit faster. And then also maybe patients who are hitting menopause, things like that. So just different reasons that someone might want to be able to lose that weight very quickly. The healthcare industry looked at it as a way to potentially prevent chronic disease that's caused by obesity. So there were multiple different reasons for having this medication to the market and different benefits for that. So with this article, the strategic management themes that we see are the competitive positioning, market disruption, growth strategy through research and development, ethical considerations, considering the drug pricing and access, who should get that medication, who shouldn't. And then we look at global expansion and regulatory strategy. So looking at their SWOT analysis for Novo, they were the market leader in the GLP-1 segment. They had strong brand recognition with their Wegovy and Ozempic. Their weakness was that limited production capacity when they went to the market with the higher demand, and then their pricing criticism, where some people couldn't have access to it. Their opportunities would be their global market expansion, as well as oral GLP-1s. As it began to roll out, it was just formed through injections. The threats that they may be facing would be that intensifying competition, where there's pharmacies who are making blends, who can get it to the market a little bit cheaper for consumers, as well as regulatory pricing controls. The competitive landscape currently for Novo would be competitors such as Eli Lilly for Mounjaro, Pfizer, Amgen, all coming up with GLP-1s and dual agonist candidates. The market dynamics for Novo was that rapid growth with limited capacity. The company wasn't able to capture that market. It's part of the number one problem that they had in the beginning. And then they have high barriers to entry that kind of helps them keep those competitors away. And then those insurer pricing pressures as well. We see this with Porter's 5 forces as well. There's high rivalry, moderate supply power, and high buying power. However, the threat of new entrants are low currently, And then the threat of substitutes are also low currently. However, that is going to grow at a quick rate. Their current moves for Novo, they have $2 billion plus in investments to expand their production facilities. They are launching strategies for Wegovy approvals through insurances for consumers, even doing direct to consumer purchasing and allowances. They're accelerating their research and development in oral and dual agonist therapies. So their growth strategy would mean that they would want to look towards market penetration, market development, product development, and diversification. Their risks and challenges: their production bottlenecked, impacting supply and market share growth. The competitive patent litigation and rapid pipeline races with the competitors has really grown in the last few years. The regulatory barriers of new markets, the public backlash over pricing and limited access, as well as now their dependence on that GLP-1 class for their future revenue. So in conclusion, their strategic management exemplifies the market disruption, growth through innovation, and ethical tension in healthcare, and their substantial competitive advantage requires balancing financial growth and social impact. But their strategy must adjust to the market, regulatory issues, and societal shifts to continue to be successful.